Okay, friends and family and bushcraft family, I'm back out here at the Dutch ovens. I've got my number 8 Lodge Dutch oven, and I got some beans in there. And I like using vegetable broth to start off my beans with, but of course I cooked a little bacon in there first so I could grease the bottom and grease the sides and get everything all greased up. I had me a nice bacon sandwich. But I got everything all greased up, got it nice and hot, and I put the vegetable broth in there and the beans. I got some ham in there, some salt and some pepper, and I like a little garlic powder in my beans. And my wife is off and she's doing her job today, and I'm off today and she's working. And I told her I would cook her some beans and cornbread. So here's the starting of the beans. And we'll get back with you later on the beans, but I'll get the cornbread started here shortly. You want to do these beans just like you would in a big pot if you're cooking for a lot of people out on one of them big witches kettles that you see people cook beans in. You get it up to a nice rolling boil. And then after you get it up to that nice rolling boil, you just put enough fire or enough coals under there just to keep it at a simmer. And you don't really have to do a lot of stirring. You just got to move it off the bottom every now and then. Do what they call turn it. About every 20 minutes you want to come out here and just turn it a couple of times. And then you don't have to worry about your beans scorching. But we'll get back with you here in just a little bit. We'll show you the finished product of the beans and the cornbread. But I'll give you a start of the cornbread here when I put it on there. I'll show you what I do there. Thanks very much. We'll be right back. Okay, here we go, YouTube family, friends, bushcraft buddies. Take this top off of here. If you notice how hot I got that, you want that hot. You want that really hot. You want it oiled down good. I always make my cornbread a little bit thin so it pours real easy in there. I don't know if you can hear that sizzle or not, but you want that pan hot. You want it greased so it don't stick, and then you want to get that in there, and you're going to want more coals on the top than you are on the bottom. I got a lot of coals on there right now, but some of them's burned down, so I don't really go by how many you should put on. I just know what works for me. But I know you're going to want that top a lot hotter than you do the bottom. I've only got about 6 coals on the bottom, 7. And a few that was a little bit burned up from over there where I started the beans. But you want that really hot on the top there, so it'll bake up real nice. Okay, now it's time to reveal what I've been doing here. A while ago, I took the bottom coals off because I started to smell it bacon. Once you start smelling it bacon, if you leave them bottom coals on there too long, you're going to get burned bottom. So we don't want to burn bottom. So let's take the top off here. You see how that's starting to pull away? I'll move the camera here. Starting to pull away from the edge of the pot. That tells you it's pretty much done. I'm going to put this on. I'm going to turn it just a little bit more. And I'm going to leave that on just a little bit longer for it to brown. And then if we go over here to the beans, remember how I told you just want to turn them every now and then? You pull that lid off there. See how them's a bubbling? I'll get the camera a little closer. They're just kind of bubbling there. And I told you that you just want to turn them. Oops. I didn't mean to do that to the camera. But you just want to kind of turn them. You don't want to, it's called rolling your beans. Kind of go down in the bottom and turn them. Go over here and go down in the bottom and turn them. Now the only thing I might do to them is that vegetable broth has come out of there a little bit. It's boiled away a little bit. I may add a little bit more vegetable broth in there and just let them cook just a little bit longer so everything gets married up. But here in about 5 minutes, I'm going to be taking the top off of that cornbread, and I'm going to be pulling it out of there and showing you how good that looks. Now what I did to that cornbread is I used 1 cup of cornmeal. I used 2 cups of milk. I used 1/4 cup of sugar, 2 teaspoons of baking powder, 1/2 teaspoon of salt, 1 egg, and 1/4 cup of vegetable oil. Now one thing I like to do when I mix up my wet ingredients and I get that egg in there, I like to take a hand beater and beat that egg and that milk and everything together. And then when you mix it into the dry ingredients and that bakes up, it makes it a whole lot fluffier and a whole lot nicer. I'll be back here in just a few minutes with the end product. Okay, it's time for the reveal of the cornbread. Now if you have your Dutch oven seasoned properly, you should be able to reach right in with this big old spatula, get underneath your cornbread, bring it out of there, and set it right on top of a nice decorative plate, just like that one for Christmas. It's the quickest one I could get my hands on, but you know, that's not half bad looking cornbread. Let's take a look at those beans. Oh, they're looking pretty good. I got them bubbling up again because I added a little bit of vegetable broth to them, and I wanted them to get all married up, so I went ahead and throwed some extra coals in there to get them bubbling again. But this is done. I'm going to go feed my beautiful wife now. You guys all have fun. God bless. Have a wonderful evening. Bye-bye.